Hi, my name is Joe Jackson. I'm an author, journalist, broadcaster, and documentarian who has interviewed roughly 1,400 celebs. As I said in my previous Boyzone podcast related to the Sky documentary series No Matter What, it originated in my archive. One revelation in the series is of how ruthless some of his fellow band members said Ronan Keating could be in his craving to find fame and keep it. When I did my first interview with the lads in 1994, it's on my previous podcast, From Our Story to No Matter What, I didn't sense that. Then again, at the time, Ronan was only 17, starting out, although he did tell me he had his sights set on a solo career. Either way, the news in 2025 of Ronan's ruthlessness, as it's called, during the days of Boyzone was hardly new to me. Keith Duffy and I talked about that in 2001. A year after Boyzone broke up. We did so publicly for an interview in the Sunday Independent, and I quoted from that interview more recently in an article I wrote for the Irish Independent. But what follows is a section from the 2001 interview with Keith, which, unlike, say, my 1994 interview with Stephen Gately, didn't make it into the documentary. But in 2001, Keith admitted that his time in Boyzone had turned into a nightmare. What you're about to hear for the first time anywhere sure is a long way down from him saying to me in 1994 that getting into the boy band was, quote, a dream come true. My point in writing that article in 2001 and the more recent article is to warn people about the dark side of fame. Incidentally, I edited out of that article in 2001 and I have edited out of this podcast anything that might hurt Keith's family. Here we focus mostly on the mate he calls Ro.
We were booked to do 42 gigs this November.
Who was?
Boyzone.
Were you?
We were given this 42
Which
gig
November?
tour. This November coming.
2001?
Yeah, it's supposed to go on sale on March 17th.
Right,
Ronan's
okay.
gone fucking off the bleeding wall.
He doesn't want to do it at all.
He hasn't time for any of us.
Well, I've seen, Stephen was on Graham Norton a week ago saying, Jesus, he doesn't even call. So much for friendship. Mikey was in the paper saying Sunday, I thought he was our friend.
Well,
It's
I found out from
frozen
Shane.
out.
I tried to bring the goodness back out in Ronan because Ronan was a gentleman, and I tried to bring the goodness back out in him. And I called him every day the week before he was due a second baby. I said, look, whatever's happened in the last 6 months, let's remember we've 7 years of good friendship here. I've been there through all the hard times, your mother passing away, God rest her soul. I've been there through it all. Obviously, I'm not a fucking arsehole, Ronan. Obviously, I did care. I do care.
Yeah.
Let's make a go.
When was this? Last December?
This is just before the baby was born this year.
But he also praised you in that interview I did with him in the Sunday Indo. He said every night in
God
the
bless you, Joe. I love you, Joe. You know, how much of that can you believe?
Okay.
I mean, that's the way I'm at the moment because I believed it all.
But he said all those nights when he was distressed and in the pubs and when in the hotels, you'd stay up drinking with him and you'd be the one that he'd crack up in your arms and you'd fuck him back in bed and say, sleep it off.
Off the record.
But that's well known. So, but I won't say, of course. So, okay, so you were...
I'm there through all that now. She knows that Ronan has a lot of loving for me. And she knows that I'm her only obstacle. And she welcomes me in with arms out wide and I say, I'm sorry I doubted her. Because she filled me. And she made my wife her best friend.
Right.
And we went out together, we did everything together, the whole lot. But she was playing a mind game for so long. Eventually it paid off. Shane called me up, he says, look, this tour's not going to happen, Duster. And Shane was really distressed because Shane lived for Boyzone. And I said, why, how do you know? He says, I've spoken to Ronan. 4 of us had signed the contracts, Ronan hadn't. He wanted time to decide. And the time came, and I was ringing Ronan every day before she... If I anything I can do, Ro, let me know. When she's born, give me a call, blah, 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 and the whole lot. She was born at 4:15 in the morning, whatever. He called me up, baby daughter, delighted for you. You ring me and let me know when I come in and see the baby and the whole lot. Entourage, brothers, best mates that I've only met through fame, the whole lot in his ears. Never get a phone call. Sending balloons, flowers, fucking the works, not a phone call. Shane calls me up, it's not going to happen. The tour's not going to happen. How do you know? We're talking to Ro. Long story, that's Shane's business, not getting into that.
Alright.
But he told me you were falling out with him. And he didn't want to fall out with me because he'd already fallen out with you. And I said, falling out with me? I've been waiting on a call. I've done nothing. I've done nothing. What the fuck's going on? So I call him up, livid at this stage. Everybody's been telling me how he's walked on me, done this to me, done that to me, the whole lot. I call him up, what the fuck's going on? Who the fuck do you think you are? I said, Jesus Christ, would you just take a fucking minute out of your married life or whatever it is and remember who Keith Duffy is? I said, for God's sake, man. I said, follow with me. I said, forget about it. I said, forget about it. I have fucking fought your battle for you for so long. I'm not taking this. You're telling other people who found it instead of telling me. I said, I will never be belittled by you again. I will never be under compliment to you again. And I do not need you to succeed. I have talent in my own fucking ways. I said, I will do okay for myself. So you go ahead, be successful. True colours shine through. What was my favourite song, I says to him? What was the first song when we were 16 years of age, when we were asked in our first interview what your favourite song is? What was mine? I don't remember. It was True Colours, Cyndi Lauper. And now it's coming through because this is still my fucking favourite song, True Colours. True Colours shine through all the time. I've done nothing to harm it. I've never vindictively ever hurt any member of Boyzone. Never. Never. I've been vindictively hurt here. And my song is coming ringing in my ears. There's True Colours shine through, pal. Have a successful career and forget me. Good luck.
So
No hard feelings.
So the last time you talked to him?
It's the last time he's never tried to ring me back. Why would he? He's got the whole entourage and this isn't a whole lot there. You know, try and get rid of me because he plays God. He plays God. They play up to God. When I'm around, they can't play up to God anymore. And he can't be God anymore.
What are you doing in my office? This is my office. This is where I do all my meetings.
Is it?
Yeah, I went looking for you and I thought,
It'll be your office.
I know where they'll be.
But I said Mick wouldn't mind if he used his office for an hour.
Absolutely, and thanks very much for robbing the fags.
Okay.
All right.
Will you join us afterwards?
Yeah. So
So
what?
I says he can't play God when I'm around because I'm the old school. They can't play up to God when I'm
Like I
around.
see through the bullshit. That's old school.
I see through the bullshit, and he knows he won't play it, and they can't play it. So why cramp the whole? So Ronan loves me.
Right.
I know he does.
Right.
He has to love
Looks
me.
like he needs you.
What?
He needs you to keep him on his fucking
Well,
grand feet.
he loves me, right?
Right.
But the people he cares about now, Elton, George, the boys, right? New friend. How do I put this? It was a
You
weight.
think his priorities have gone cockeyed?
Yeah, the weight on Ronan's shoulders was his entourage didn't love his friend.
Right.
That's an awful weight.
Right.
Give me an excuse. Give
Who
me
of his entourage doesn't love you?
none of them. None of them.
They don't like you at all?
His best mate is a guy called Glenn.
Right.
He was his courteous driver at the fucking Eurovision show. He worked for Peugeot. He
Right.
happened to live in Swords as well. So every night we drop Ronan home after rehearsal, they go on the piss together. He's become the biggest fucking mate of Ronan ever. Ligger.
Alright.
Biggest
Alright.
ligger.
Okay.
Now, Joe, be very
Careful
decisive
with
about
it,
what you write,
yeah,
okay? I don't
yeah.
want to fucking cause a war here, you
Alright.
know? He doesn't like me around because
Right.
I steal his glory, his thunder.
Right.
Ronan's
Right.
my best mate. Or so I thought.
Right.
It was a weight in shoulders because I don't get on with his brother, and obviously his wife has her own ideas of what she wants to do.
Alright, okay.
I don't want you to switch the tape off, but I want you
Okay.
to understand and be very honest with you.
Yeah,
And
but
some
you know.
of my honesty has to be hidden. You know what I mean? And I'm glad it didn't, Joe, because like I told you, I went through a very bad depression over the last not the last 6 months, but before last year, prior to the last 6 months.
Right.
Extremely bad depression.
Just
For
after
some-
the,
for
after the break
the-
with the band.
Yeah, for the kind of guy that I was and the amount of love that I brought to a lot of people, there was nobody there for me. Like I would be there for anybody that's seen that situation. There was nobody there for me. Oh, Lisa was there, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
there was
Would
nobody
you not
there
have
for me that
called?
understood.
Would you not have called Ronan and said, "I saw you through your mother's death. I'm going through misery now. You've got to help me."
No, I'm too proud.
All right.
No, everybody knew what I was going through. If they cared enough to call, they would have called. That's the way I am. I don't ask for help.
Right.
I
And
went
did any
through-
of the lads come through?
Because they couldn't help. They couldn't. They didn't know what to fucking say to me. They're all going through the same shit.
They were going through a
themselves.
variation of the same kind of
Yeah.
feelings.
Lisa
Right.
will never know to the extent of the shit I went through because I hid it from her because she couldn't.
Yeah.
She didn't want, not that
Yeah.
she couldn't handle it.
All right.
She needed to secure marriage. She got kids, man. She has to support these kids.
Yeah.
She was the responsible one when I went through all that, you see. And I
Right.
went mad. I got drunk, came home, went out on Saturday night, came home on Monday.
Right. Okay.
She put up with that.
Is this how you fought the depression?
I don't know whether it was a rebellion or a depression or what it was. I
Now, was
lost.
this last year or 2.5 years ago?
No, this was only 6 months.
Oh, right.
See, last 6 months have been great.
Yeah,
Before that was
okay.
mental.
Okay.
I was just trying to deal with being a grown up without having the grown up years.
Right. Okay.
Because I was always
Yeah.
put here. I wasn't
Yeah.
grown up
Yeah.
here. I was
Yeah.
put here after being in a situation that I was protected.
All right.
It was difficult. Jeez, I lost the plot. And nobody will know what I went through because I had to hide it from everyone because everybody's security was mine. I was the reason everyone was so secure because I fucking gave them confidence and I
Yeah.
gave them compliments. And I was their security. If I broke down, the whole fucking place around me would break down. I had to hide it from everyone.
Right, but that's the sure route to a nervous breakdown, Keith.
Yeah, but I was close to it.
You know,
I was close to it. But I'm happy in life, Joe, and I wouldn't let it beat me. I wouldn't let it beat me. I was that close. I said, no.
To cracking.
I'm good, Joe. I haven't found out where yet.
Right.
You know, a lot of people tell me where they think it is, and I'd agree with them a lot of the time. But there's something out there that's special that I'm made for, and I believe that.
Yeah.
And that's confidence.
Absolutely.
You know?
But you got to hold on to that. You don't
and
let
I
that
will.
go.
I find it. I know there's something out there for people.
See, there's another way of looking at this, Keith. Right. Another way of looking at it is you're better off out of Boyzone. You're better off away from a manager who told you were talentless. You're better off coasting in a world that wasn't helping you grow up. You're better off in every fucking level as soon as you find the new way. Yeah. No more looking back and no more longing to go back there.
No,
you know what I mean?
Anymore. I don't long anymore.
Right,
anyway.
right. To go back.
This is a memorable moment for me. This interview, for one reason. I'm talking to someone that I trust. I'm talking to somebody, and I'm being extremely honest. I'm telling them things that could fuck the rest of my life up as I like it, if they wanted to, but I know they won't. But it's also making me feel a little bit important, because even though it's all gone, you're still interested in talking to me.
Absolutely.
That's a confidence thing for me.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
I want you to read the piece.
I hope it's good.
No, it will be. No, I can give you the substance that you see, you're not supposed to give substance to people in boy bands. There was even only so much we could talk about back then, and only so much I could publicise it. But I read our interview this morning again, and I went, Keith and I went as far as we could go, further than me and any of the other guys in the band. Yeah, we did. We were just straight talking.
Well, I'm honest.
Remember over there, but also we just clicked.
Yeah.
And if you felt there was no bullshit.
But I have to be honest. I'm an awful emotional fucker. I'm very real. I'm very real.
I know.
I really do. As bollocks as it might sound, I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore. But Joe Jackson has a place in my heart, and it's not because he wrote this piece on me or that piece. I read, and I hope this doesn't actually insult you, but I read an awful lot of me and you sometimes.
All right, okay, no, it doesn't.
And for me, it gives me a really home feeling. It gives me a real sense of security speaking to you, and I feel confident about what I have to say. Not saying it in a vulnerable type of sense.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do.
And that's why Louis wants me to write a book so badly.
Does he?
So badly. He thinks that there's still a lot of emotion and an awful lot of reality. People, one thing that is always successful is something that somebody can relate to.
Yeah.
And if you can remain the person that people can relate to, you'll always be successful.
Sure.
Because people always love to think that they could be you because they're so related to you. And that's why Louis thinks it's a great story here. And he's always on to me about Eddie Rowley writing the book. And Eddie and me are great friends, but Eddie doesn't get it.
No, Eddie doesn't get inside people.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Whereas I know for a fact you're sitting there and you can read me like a fucking book.
Yeah.
And that for me is the security for me and you.
Yeah.
Do you think when this phase is past, there's something big out there? I reckon I'm gonna be big, Joe. I reckon I'm gonna be fucking huge.
Right.
And not because I'm fucking brilliant. I just think that there's an element of something that's
You're doing
there.
an interview or a book?
We don't know.
Both at the moment.
Yeah.
Michael.
Go on.
But I think I know all my life I've been told Boyzone was a stepping stone to something I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
But I reckon there's something just around the corner with a little bit of education, a little bit of guidance that is going to blow the fucking world. And that's going to be me.
Is there, if I like to become a kind of devil's advocate for a moment, if you within 5 years you haven't found it, do you think you might go back into that state of depression? Within a year? Within a half year?
Without a hesitation. Yeah. Without a hesitation, because I believe so much it's going to happen. I believe so much. It's not a confidence thing.
All right.
It's belief.
It's a faith.
It's a faith. I believe that I have great faith. Huge faith.
In God?
Yeah. And when I have a chat with him, and when I'm in trouble, and I talk to him about it, and I think there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and all of a sudden it's the brightest light you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
It doesn't happen for no reason.
Right.
It's definitely a calling. Definitely a calling. My personality is not made to go in vain. It's made to go out there and make other people as confident and as happy and as excitable as I am.
Hi, Joe Jackson here again. I thank you for listening to this edition of the Joe Jackson Interviews podcast. And if you want to read any of my articles, check out my website, joejacksoninterviewer.com. Likewise, if you want to check out any tapes I have that you may be able to use for a documentary.